Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Really, baby got back.
Really big baby got back. Oh fuck.
Really big baby got back. Really big baby got back.
Really big baby got back. Really big baby got back. Really big baby got back. Really big baby got back. It's a triplet flow.
How do you do that?
I just have my body can make the notes happen in the right places.
My body can't.
I'm so sorry. That must
I
suck.
want chocolate milk. Can you go get me some chocolate milk right now?
Before we podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Well.
While during. Okay, I'm gonna run during the intro sequence. Go.
Really big baby. So today we decided to talk about tattoos in general, cause that's an interesting topic. Am I right, ladies? So I figured I'd talk about tattoos today because one of my friends is getting a tattoo, and he just turned 18, and I was just talking to you about how I thought that getting tattoos right after you turn 18 is kind of dumb because you're not getting a tattoo because you want to get a tattoo. You're getting a tattoo because you can. And I don't think that that's a really great reason to get a tattoo, I guess. I mean,
I'm back.
This is part of a blender.
For context, the milk is in the lid of a bullet blender because I didn't want to run the sink while you were trying to talk. Anyway.
Fair enough.
I also agree. I think that controversial opinion time. I think that the idea that tattoos automatically have to have a deep meaning is kind of bullshit. Because I think that, if you pick something more for the aesthetics, then you're probably more likely to get something, where it's not going to mean something different to you later down the line. People tend to go with their family, which is a safe bet because that's set in stone. They tend to go with things surrounding, the most important or influential things because influences are always in the past. They're always there. They're always, everything you do is based on those influences, so it makes sense to have tattoos commemorating that. But I also think that, your sense of aesthetics really kind of never changes, and that, not that it never changes, but that, something that looks cool to you when you were a teenager is probably going to look cool to you when you're 20, when you're 30, when you're 40, it's probably going to look cool. But just getting one because you can is BS. Is garbage BS. Don't do that.
No, yeah, definitely. I was just kind of off-put by it because he ended up not doing it because he was busy, but he was going to get a tattoo the day after his 18th birthday. And I was just kind of
Of what? Do you know what he was going to get?
It was actually something that him and his friends were going to do. So
God, that's even worse.
Well, I mean, I kind of understand that it was a little bit more premeditated. I can appreciate that. But once again, it's just you know how when you turn 21 you drink because it's you can, it's kind of what it feels like.
And you overdo it and then you get sick.
But you overdo it. That's the thing is
because you don't know what you're doing yet. You just
yeah.
I was lucky the first time I drank to not overdo it completely.
But with tattoos, it's if you're going to be really obnoxious about it, that's permanent,
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily against tattoos and being permanent. It just seemed really kind of strange to impulse put something on your body,
Yeah, you definitely need to think about it for more than a few months.
No matter what it is, significant or not significant.
I've been low-key, thinking of a tattoo idea for a while. I don't have anything specific in mind, but I have a few ideas of things, of themes and motifs, things that are important to me that I would want to get put on my body,
Yeah, and I mean, if you want the Zelda logo on the back of your neck, that's totally fine. I'm not judging what type of tattoos people get.
Triforce tattoos actually I think look pretty sick. They're very simplistic, nice designs.
I almost appreciate stuff like a Triforce tattoo or a yin yang, something that means something but doesn't really mean something over a name, because that's so corny, that's so overdone.
I really like Milo has a great tattoo of just a regular stolen from the anime drawing of a Squirtle. You know, it's just a squirt. It's not like there's no artistic design to it. The guy just traced a Squirtle onto his arm. But that's such an amazing tattoo because it's like, it's something that you love and you're not trying to like be pretentious about it at all. You're just like putting it on your body in its most literal form. And I'm like, I dig that. I would get like a band logo verbatim somewhere on my body, you know?
Yeah, Sean has a Volkswagen tattoo on his arm.
That's a cool tattoo.
It is.
It really counterbalances his terrible Todd Snyder tattoo. That looks like it was drawn by him after a gin.
So I guess my ex uncle, you can call him.
Oh, good lord.
Has, I cannot remember if it's flames or lightning bolts, but he has blue. I think it's flame tattooed like on his scalp, under like on the sides underneath his hair, and it doesn't mean anything. It's just like wow,
It's
like,
just cool.
like you know, like it's just like cool.
He can just like shave his head and access the flames whenever he desires.
No, yeah, he has either cool hair or he has a cool tattoo on his head. It's fucking dope.
That guy's cool. I like tattoo freaks in general. I tend to find them very interesting people.
Yeah.
And like, I love just looking at the art because like, you know, people who just decide that their body is worth enough that they want to get this like great actual real art put on it permanently and like, you know, just kind of say something with their whole vibe, you know?
Like sleeves.
Yeah, sleeves are cool. I don't have
Sleeves are hardcore.
I don't have good enough arms for sleeves, but I've always kind of wanted like a shoulder sleeve or something. I don't know. I've always thought about a tattoo. Have you ever thought about a tattoo?
You know, I really have, but I couldn't get like a big tattoo because my dad would freak out.
Yeah.
And I don't want to deal with him bitching at me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know? Also, you know, like, I'm not that progressive. I'd get something I could cover up with a shirt. You know, I want something you can't see unless I want you to be able to see it.
Totally
like,
subtle.
I was thinking about getting something on my chest, not my breasts necessarily, but my chest. Or something like on my tummy, or something on my leg, like my upper legs.
Yeah.
I've thought about getting like a bottom of the foot tattoo, but I've heard those really hurt.
Yeah, I've heard that's not a good first tattoo.
Yeah,
to get.
but I have a high pain tolerance too.
That's true. I feel like you more than anyone would just sit there and just be like, "What the oh, God, like this is getting pinched." Like,
yeah,
you know, you tend to do that with a lot of things where you're just like, "Yeah, this is pretty low pain tolerance," you know.
I've thought about getting matching tattoos with you too, and not necessarily like we're a couple matching tattoos, but just kind of like a heart, like in the same place, like behind an earlobe or something like that, like something cute.
I would love to get something like adorable like that.
Yeah, but not necessarily like, you know, obviously there's the cliche of like the name or the face, and you never tattoo anything because nothing's permanent or whatever. But like,
especially not names.
At the same time, we've been together for almost, or a little bit more than 7 years now. And like, even if we did break up, like that's still 7 years of my life. Like I feel like I can notate that somehow on my body.
Yeah, I mean, if you just had a little heart, like it wouldn't necessarily like be the worst thing. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but if it was like my name, it would be fucking weird, or my fucking like a direct like scanned image of my ass just tattooed on your ass.
A tattoo of your glasses.
Yeah. That'd be weird.
Your glasses are iconic, though.
I know. Like, I feel like I have iconography.
You
about
do.
Me.
You have an allure.
A strong aesthetic, a strong visual vibe.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so sleepy. We just like spontaneously podcasted because we actually got another mic. I don't know if you can tell, but we have not one but 2 microphones now. Uno.
Dos.
Uno.
Dos.
Yeah. So, you know. Moving on up in
the podcasting world, really bringing our A game on this exciting, enthralling episode of the Really Big Baby, low key talking about body modification hours. You should talk about that time your mom like tried to get your ears pierced like out of nowhere.
Okay.
Just to round this podcast up and give it some depth.
I have a few weird stories with my mom and piercings. So when I was a week old, my mom asked my dad if he was okay with piercing my ears because, you know, like I was a child. That's controversial, you know. And my dad said sure. My dad thought she meant like eventually before I turned like 3 or 4. My mom meant that day, and my mom went out and pierced my ears when I was a week old.
Little baby.
Little baby. So I actually have a lower set. I have 2 sets on each ear, but my lower set on each ear doesn't grow in
Yeah.
at all. Like if I take the piercing out, it just stays like that.
It will never.
The probably weirder story is I've always thought about doing my cartilage, and I've just never really gotten around to it, just because I'm lazy, and also I can't sleep on my back, so I'd have to and I have to actually flip over a few times in order to fall asleep. I know it's the worst thing ever.
Oh God, me too. Though I think that's why we get along is because when we go to bed, it's just like a little earthquake of us. Like
It's like a rave.
We're just like it's like a party. We're just
Yeah.
like tossing and turning.
Anyway,
we're stopping and stalling. We're tossing. We're falling.
but so when I was a teenager, I asked my mom about it because she has a cartilage piercing, and I told her, I was like, yeah, I kind of want to get a cartilage done. And this was near my 18th birthday, and then one day on my 18th birthday, my mom just pulled up to a piercing shop and was like, let's do it. And I was like, no, I've got shit to do. What?
Yeah, that was really bizarre.
Yeah.
Was I there for that?
You were. And I had just graduated high school too, so I had like shit going on in my life.
Was that IKEA as well, or was that?
No, I think IKEA was later.
We went to IKEA with her mom, and that was an experience.
Well,
and
we
a half.
kept trying to tell her we didn't need anything, and
Yeah.
then we like got like a whisk and a cheese grater.
Yeah.
From downstairs.
Yeah, it was weird. It was fun. Like it was fun going through the showroom, and it was fun eating meatballs. But damn, son, that was quite an uneventful trip to the Swedish garbage store, if I dare say so myself.
Fuck you. IKEA's great.
I love IKEA, dude. IKEA is my favorite store.
I will say.
Shout out to our sponsor for this podcast,
What?
IKEA.
No.
The Swedish garbage store.
I do have to say though that I think that their meatballs are overrated, and I could make better meatballs right the fuck
For
now.
sure. I
actually think
I think the novelty of having a cafeteria in a store like that is a lot more interesting than the stupid garbage meatballs they try and serve you.
and the gravy. I think the gravy's really cheap too.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with that?
Who knows?
I don't even like gravy, and I'm like, it's gravy's ass.
Well, that's it.
The gravy's ass. Tattoos are cool if they don't mean anything.
If they do, they're stupid.
If they do, they suck. And we're really good at professional podcasting.
Exactly.
It's like professional wrestling.
Can you please compress that so you can hear Barnabas meow?
Of course.
Thank you.